Go get him! Go! Yeah! Okay, now. Ready, set, go!
Hello everyone, and welcome to an informal special here on Player One Start. Well, believe it or not, it has been 2 years since I have started this channel, and it has been met with a measure of success that I could not have dreamed. The fact that there are other people out there who would like to view the content that I view and share some of the same nostalgia that I do for video games is quite astounding, because if you talk to any of my friends or family, a lot of them will tell you, yeah, they're tired of hearing about it from me. So the fact that I'm able to do this and kind of vent out, a lot of these opinions and nostalgia from the past to you guys, and you guys can take it to heart, or it connects to you guys in a way that makes it personal for both you and me. I mean, I'm just in complete shock that we were able to do this. Hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark before the 2 years was out is something that I didn't think was going to happen, and when it did, I just couldn't be more excited. So before I go too far into this video, in case I forget to mention it, I do want to say thank you everyone who has been supportive of this show. It is because of you that this show has lasted as long as it has, and stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll let you know a little bit about the future of this channel. Oh yeah, and if you guys haven't done that, subscribe-y and bell icon thingy, don't forget to do that. So in honor of this 2-year event, I've decided to go ahead and share with you a topic that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and that is, what do video games mean to me? This is a question that used to be asked, I'm sure it's not asked as much anymore, but is definitely thought of, at least by my friends and family. What is it with this crazy obsession? Why do I have a wall of video games behind me? What is the big deal? If I was a sports memorabilia collector, that wouldn't be seen as strange as video games, at least to the people that I associate with often. And to tell you what, this wall behind me in this room here is kind of the culmination of a lifelong dream, complete with CRT television, and it has every single game console that I owned and wish I owned when I was growing up. And whenever I want to feel like I want to return to the times that were happiest to me in my childhood, I'm always going to go back to video games. I don't mean to say that the best things about my childhood were the video games, but it's something that I can partake in now that really connects me to the past in a way that, other ways just can't. I'm also going to tell you guys a little bit about the start of this channel. Again, it started with a dream. I had to build some shelves. I had to get this thing assembled. I built some wall shelves on the other side so I can have some storage. But if you look around, this is very much a functional set. You'll notice in several videos that I've done that the video games keep shifting arrangement on the shelf because this is where I store them. These aren't props. These are real games that I've stored, and this is where I go to grab a game when I go to do a game review. As a result, this is about the only part of this room that actually looks presentable right now, because the rest is all a mess because I have several different projects going along, and as soon as one hits a hiccup, I have to stop, and I just leave everything where it's at so I can come back to it, and I work in another part of this room to get more stuff going. It's not as expansive as I would like, but at least I have this to keep going and keep making videos with. But anyway, right before this channel launched, I actually started just doing like a playthrough of the Crash Bandicoot series. In fact, the only thing that still exists from that is one little clip that I thought might be useful for people that shows a little shortcut in Crash Bandicoot Warped where you can warp into one of the hidden levels in the game. I ended up taking down the rest of that video because it just flooded my channel with a whole bunch of content, and the new videos I was putting out was getting buried underneath it. So I decided to go ahead and switch away from playthroughs to what I do now, which is more game reviews, reviews, console reviews, and things like that. That's actually really what I initially intended to do. But right before I started launching videos, my grandma from my mom's side passed away. She had been sick for quite a while. She was 97 years old, but it still didn't take away the emotional sting from it. So anyway, that's how the channel started. And it's not very evident in the first few videos that I'm actually in a grieving state, because a lot of that stuff was shot before and I was still stuck on the editing part. I was learning iMovie. I had to figure out how to do transitions. I had to figure out how to edit. I had to figure out how to get background music in. I had to figure out how to do the green screen. It was just a huge learning curve. I had been working on the first video for about 2 months before it came out, and that was the Sega Master System video. That one was in the most complete state. Even though I look at it now and I'm thinking, wow, I called that a review. I only played 2 games. So since starting this channel, I've actually online met a lot of people who have given me and voiced their support, and I've given support back. And there was a lot of them that started around the same time I did, so we kind of got to know each other online. We started liking each other's videos and doing all that stuff to kind of promote each other and kind of form a community. I was definitely taken aback at how supportive the online community is for retro gamers and small streamers and YouTubers. It's fantastic. I can't say enough about it. It's kind of amazing to me. A lot of them that I've been working with just are no longer on YouTube, or they've moved on to something else, or they stopped doing videos altogether, which I think is a shame, because I did enjoy some of their content. But thankfully, those that are still working on YouTube and are still a part of the community and still participating, they're still supportive of what I do, and I still try to throw my support whenever I can. I'm glad that that's something that is still going on from when I started this channel. So fast forwarding to this year, right before summer started, I lost my other grandma, my dad's mom this time. And at the time, I was just buried in kind of the 8-bit war work, and I've done another behind the scenes on that on my Patreon if you guys want to check that out. But let's just say it happened at a time that was really kind of a, does this channel continue to exist? Or do I just stop doing this channel after I do the 8-bit war, of course? So that was kind of what I was wrestling with over this summer. But just to let you know, my grandma, who, like I said, just passed away a little while ago, she had 9 kids, one of which was my dad. She had well over 20 grandkids, so I'm sure that we could all share some similar stories about it. But some of the things I remember is, I think most of the gifts that my grandma has got me for Christmas, I still have, because if you look, they're PC and video games. So this copy of Battleship, I can't remember if it was my grandma that got me this game, or if it was this game, or both. So I'm not quite sure which one it was, or if it was both, but I do remember one of these was a Christmas gift from my grandma. So in some level of respect, I guess she kind of got it that I was a gamer and really liked this stuff, because I would give her a list of things to get me for Christmas, and it always seemed like the video games were the ones that won out. So I also have fond memories of going to my grandma's over Thanksgiving, Christmas, and holidays, and I would play the Nintendo Entertainment System with my uncle, with my cousins. It was something that we all really remembered going back to play. Here's another gift I got one Christmas. This was actually my first introduction to the series of Spyro. I had heard of it, I asked for it for Christmas, again, along with some other things, and this was the game I ended up getting. Fantastic game, I think the best game in the series, but of course I could be a little bit biased on that. But it's still in my collection and will probably go with me to the grave, because I don't think I ever plan on getting rid of the ones that are this personal. My favorite game that I got from my grandma. It's not my favorite because of the game itself, although I think it is a pretty good game. It's my favorite because I want to know what my grandma was thinking when she walked up to the checkout aisle with this thing. Unfortunately, at this time, I couldn't find the box for it. I could only find the disc. But my grandma bought me Doom 2. I believe I would have been about 10 years old when she bought this game for me. It would have been 1996 or 1997. And just to let you know a little bit about my grandma is that, it's your grandma. Think about it, those sweet, moral values and everything, and she walks up there with Doom 2 Hell on Earth, with a demon shooting a bazooka at a half-exposed abdomen. I just literally would like to know the look on her face when she saw this thing. And she still decided to get it for me. So that's another reason why video games are important to me. I can look back on it with fond memories, and that's a connection to my grandma that I'm always going to have. So that's my story, for at least for this episode. I have tons of memories I can share with you. I look forward to sharing those with you, but that'll have to wait until later. And now for the future of the channel. So I've mentioned before that there was a point where I thought I need to stop doing the Player One Start show. It's not really fulfilling what I want out of it. But I'll let you know a little bit of background about where that thought process was coming from. In May of 2019, I encountered a tremendous loss of data. I have a home file server that I kind of keep up myself. I'm not too bad with a computer, and I figured out a way to create a file share with some external hard drives. I did it the right way. I had one drive for primary, one drive for backup, and I tried to make sure that there were multiple locations where these files were kept. But however, best laid plans apparently always end in disaster. I had a power outage here one day that knocked out 2 of my external hard drives. One of them was all of my game capture footage and all of my Player One Start footage that I had ever created from July of 2017 until May of 2019. All that was gone. And if that wasn't bad enough, the second hard drive that went was the backup drive. I couldn't believe that both of those were gone. But I thought to myself, my file server itself has a lot of those files cached. I bet you I can get it off of those. But lo and behold, the file server was also crashed. It wouldn't boot, the hard drive was corrupted, it was all gone. I went through several ways of trying to get back those files, paid and unpaid. And the best that people could come up with, or the software could come up with, was it could find the files and it tried to reconstruct them, but every single one of the video files, because they were so large, were always missing something. They always came out corrupted. So most of the work I had done for the past year and a half towards the 8-bit war was gone. That was a big low point. And that's where I thought to myself, I've already started on the 8-bit war, but I hadn't gotten through a lot of it. And I said, at this point, I want to finish the video, but at that point I thought, well, there was a lot more footage on there for stuff that I had planned to do in the future that is now gone. So, the whole slate was wiped clean. So I thought to myself, I'm definitely going to finish the 8-bit war, and I'm going to do it right. That meant going back through and replaying a whole bunch of games, at least about 50 on each system. So even though the 8-bit war doesn't show a lot of video game footage from each game, or even from every game that I played, I really wanted to have the option of what I wanted to put in and what I wanted to leave out. So it was during this time, with my grandma's passing and losing all the data and just everything just kind of came to a screeching halt, I had to think to myself what was going to happen, and I realized something. If it wasn't for the data crash, I probably wouldn't have realized this. I hit burnout. I've long said that I have to make it a point that if this channel is no longer fun to do, if it's something that doesn't pique my interest or really seen as a huge benefit to me, I have to give it up. It's something that unfortunately one day is going to happen, and I'm going to have to come to terms with that. But on the plus side, because of my grandma's passing, I actually was able to take some time off and kind of refocus, and just giving myself that little bit of a break made me realize that maybe I wasn't burnt out, but maybe I was going about this the wrong way. So I came back with the philosophy, work smarter, not harder, and I got the 8-bit war done. And as you can tell from the little snippet at the end of that video, I do plan on continuing with this channel. It has been a heck of a lot of fun, and even though the 8-bit war was a huge challenge, I feel it's so much more rewarding than it was challenging when I was making it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the videos I've done so far. I do plan on doing some more videos. I kind of mentioned at the end of the 8-bit war there are 3 little paths I plan on taking, along with my regular, as I think of it, videos thrown in there. But I do plan on doing a 16-bit war. I do plan on doing a handheld or portable gaming war between like the Game Boy, the Sega Game Gear, and the Atari Lynx. I do already have all those consoles, but I also want to go back and do some of the 8-bit computers and compare them to consoles of the 80s and kind of do a huge battle royale of which one was better. But, that's a long way in the planning, and that's going to still be a lot of work for other things to do, so, that's going to be a work in progress, but a goal that I plan on hitting on this channel. That kind of wraps it up for this video. Again, a little bit informal, but I just wanted to, again, extend my personal thanks to all of you who have been supporting of this channel. A special thanks to my Patreon, who has been there, loyal and true, for quite a while, so definitely an extra special thanks to him. But otherwise, make sure you guys leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys would like to see in the future of this channel. Also, feel free to share some of your gaming experiences. What does video gaming mean to you? What personal connections have you guys made with it? Those are the stories that I have an exceptional interest in, so please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this. That's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, if you like what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button, share with a friend, stay tuned because I have more content coming, and I'll see you guys next time. Here's to another 2 years. If you like this video and you'd like to help out with future projects on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.